All right, welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt. This is John, and this is Sports Forensics and Picks. And this week we are discussing NFL Week 10. NFL Week 10 kicks off in the morning. Game in Germany. New York Giants are a 6.5 point favorite against Carolina. Um, this is a Carolina team we talked about on the show last week, John. How you thought, hey, this team is gonna get it together at some point, and then they covered the spread last week. Actually, they win that game outright last week against the Saints, I believe. Uh,
Yep.
so yeah, I mean, what do you have? What do you have for this week? I'm kind of up in the
Well,
air. I think I'm personally
well,
going to take Carolina plus the points.
I don't like the points because in New York's not good enough a team to warrant a 6.5 point line on the road, and so yeah, I like the Giants.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they looked pretty good last week against Washington. They hung around, and Washington didn't end up covering, but I mean they
Dude,
looked.
I think Tracy is going to be a beast.
Yeah, you like Tracy, I know. I know you like
Yeah,
Tracy.
no. I think in this matchup, I'm not saying I like him
Oh,
going forward, but he should light it up.
yeah.
I mean, Jones will probably bogart a touchdown from him or something, but they'll be able to run the ball.
Well, Daniel Jones last week was the first quarterback in NFL history to have zero pass yards at halftime, but a passing touchdown or something. Did you hear that?
What?
At one point, he was 4 for 4 for 0 yards and a touchdown.
I'll Google it.
It was insane. Yeah, it was. You are you googling it right now? Not, are we?
Anyway,
Yeah, moving on.
Giants.
You're on. I'm on Carolina. Second game, Buffalo at Indy. The Bills are currently a 4 point favorite. Um, I'm a little concerned about Jonathan Taylor. That run game of the Colts could shred a porous Bills run defense. I think that's how Carolina wins this game if they keep Josh Allen off the field. But I have to go with the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. I think they should be able to cover that spread. 4 points isn't that much, so of course that's what Vegas wants you to think.
I'll go with you on that. I mean, Buffalo's on the road and they're laying 4. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, rock and roll. Next game is the Minnesota Vikings, -6.5 or -7, depending on where you're looking at the Jaguars. I heard the Jaguars, they might not have Trevor Lawrence this week. Um, I think originally this line was lower. It was somewhere around 4.5. But I like the Vikings to cover that, even if it is a 7 point line.
I have no reason to go against the Vikings at all. I'm just not crazy about this game, so I'm just going to stay out of it.
Yeah, I think we're just lucky that if you were taking the Vikings, if Lawrence doesn't go, that definitely helps. But otherwise, who knows? Um, Pittsburgh Steelers at the Commanders. Washington -2.5 at home. I love Washington so much, and this week feels like, hey, it might not be their week. The Steelers defense is so good. Russell Wilson looked good. They're coming off a bye. Um, I really want to take Pittsburgh in this one. I'm not going to bet it, that's for sure. But I think I'm on Pittsburgh +2.5 in this one.
Yeah, so am I. I mean, it's not even a 3 point line at home for Washington. They've passed all the challenges. They should at least have the respect of a 3.5 point home favorite in this matchup, but they don't. So yeah, I like Pittsburgh.
All right. Atlanta, the Falcons -3.5 at New Orleans Saints. Saints have been abysmal. Um, there's no reason not to take the Falcons. On the road -3.5, I got the Falcons.
I'll take the Falcons, sure. I mean, they're a better team. I mean, there's just too many injuries in
Yeah,
New Orleans. I mean,
yeah.
that team is just they can't even find their sync because there's just so many parts that have been moving around. Uh, and from the get go, I mean, after week 2, everybody was picking the Saints to destroy Philadelphia, and it's like, oh geez, the whole world was in love with the Saints just because they beat up on Dallas. Well, who hasn't beat up on Dallas? So we're learning that the Saints aren't that good, and Atlanta, they're on the rise. especially, with the way, you got a new quarterback getting into a system, and lighting it already a couple of times. So yeah, Atlanta's safe.
Yeah, yeah, it's a safe pick. Denver plus 7.5 at KC. KC minus 7.5 at home. Um, I've been going against KC all year. They are my Super Bowl pick, but I think that Denver covers the spread. I took Denver last week against Baltimore and got destroyed, but I also picked Tampa Bay to cover the spread against KC.
You
Last week
did.
on Monday Night Football, I picked this final score 30-25. It ended up being 30-24. I don't know how you get closer than that. Well, I guess 1 point closer. Also on Thursday night, I picked the Ravens 35-28 over the Bengals. And what happened? It was 35-28 with 40 seconds left or so, I believe, and the Bengals score the touchdown. They go for two, don't get it. But that was a heartbreaker because I really wanted that exact score predict. This week, Denver plus 7.5 in KC. I think it's a four.
I'll take KC then. Sure.
All right, that works. San Francisco 49ers getting Christian McCaffrey back, minus 6.5 on the road in Tampa. Tampa Bay. Is this the week that the Niners get it together on the road? Just destroy somebody, or is this a close game, John? I'll let you lead this one off.
I don't know. I think they're going to be careful with McCaffrey, obviously, and it'll probably be predictable. If he's in there, he's going to get the ball. So I don't expect much from him.
Yeah, well said.
I mean, if it's going to be predictable, where if he's in, he's going to get the ball, he needs to be able to play all game. But it's not going to be that. They'll be monitoring him very, very closely.
Right. Well said. Well, I'm on Tampa, plus the points.
Yeah, I'll take the points.
Cool. And then you got New England and Chicago. This is the last 1 o'clock game. Chicago at home minus 6. This is the type of game where I feel like Chicago could blow them out. I feel like they could blow them out. But I also feel like, hey, New England could hang around because Caleb Williams, the Bears, they didn't look that good last week against Arizona. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think Chicago should cover. I mean, but I would be more inclined to buy them not at 6, but like at 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping that there's not too much to it, and, because realistically, the Patriots are on the bottom echelon of teams, and the Bears, you can say they've kind of moved out of that, and so you have a better team versus, you have bad and then better. So the Bears should cover a touchdown. Sure.
All right. I'm on the Bears too. Tennessee at LA Chargers. Your boys, the Chargers, they are minus 7.5 at home. And I got to say, I am fully jumping on the Chargers the rest of the year, barring something catastrophic. I've missed picks pretty much all year involving the Chargers, picking against them. They continue to prove me wrong and continue to prove that they're a pretty good football team.
And that Harbaugh has everything to do with this. He brought an entire team in. I mean, so they just broke down their strengths, and they're playing 3 sides of the ball. The head coaching position has respect, and so the players buy in. And when you have players with talent buying in, then you can have a good team. But just think of who their coach was a year ago at this point. It make you laugh. Yeah. But yeah, the Chargers, they just keep going out there. 4 quarters is a lot of time when you're playing against the Chargers. I mean, you don't expect it. You just think this, Gumby is back there, just kind of aloof and distant and just kind of slow. But then he just rips your heart out with passes. And I'm talking about Herbert. That guy's like a silent assassin. You wouldn't expect it from him, but they're just dissecting these defenses, and they should do real well.
Yeah, and they're playing good defense too. So I mean, the Titans haven't been able to get anything going offensively. So
they got good players buying in, and so that's how you can make a good team. Offense, defense, special teams. They've been good on all of it. They're a top defense.
Oh yeah, I think they're the second ranked fantasy defense right now. Besides Minnesota.
Yeah, but apart from fantasy, I mean, they're McConkey's the real deal. He really is. Johnston's stepping in. He's got some targets, and they got a good team. I mean, and Dobbins has been great.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been a big key to their success for sure.
And Charger football must always, it's only successful when it's got a good running game.
Hmm. Yeah.
So we
Next,
got that. So so the Chargers are gold.
yeah, Chargers love him. Philly is -7.5 on the road against Dallas. The Cowboys, Cowboys +7.5. Um, this is tough to me. I think Dallas has been awful. They really have been. Um, I want to take the Eagles, but 7 and a hook. 7 and a hook. What do you think, John? You take the Eagles in this, or
Yeah, sure. Well, you know what though? You got Cooper Rush. There's two schools here. I don't see Dallas covering the 7.5, but not winning. If they cover that, it's because they got the Cooper Rush, the mystique.
yeah,
He was 4-1 as a starter. Okay, he wins 80% of his starts to this point. Why wouldn't you take him at plus 300? That's kind of the cheap way of looking at a dart throw. It's kind of like, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. I'll bet on Cooper Rush's numbers as a backup,
hmm.
which are really good. So that's
Not
one
only
way
that,
to
he's
do it,
got
or it's just Philly going in there and trouncing them.
9 touchdowns in his career and 6 picks for Rush. Record as a starter is now 5-1 as a starter. Actually, maybe that was included. Did he win a playoff game or something crazy at one point? I don't think so. But either way, I like what you said. Hey, the Cowboys, if they're going to be close enough to cover that spread, they're probably winning the football game. I don't see a close, 23-20 game, unless Dallas comes.
Yeah, I see it one way or the other exactly.
So it's either probably more like a blowout
So pick your poison.
yeah, yeah. Pick your poison. I guess to go on record, I guess I got to jump on Philly just for the record, but we'll see if that changes in the Purple Claw NFL pick video. That being said, the next contest is the New York Jets traveling to Arizona. Jets -1.
Jets.
Jets next. You like the Jets, huh? You jumped on them
Yeah.
last week and were correct. They had extra time to prepare this week, so they played a Thursday night game.
Yeah, it's the line. Arizona's played well enough, and they're at home.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the line.
for them to be not a favorite, to be an underdog at home, even though how well they've played. You think that's just an obvious?
Yeah, no, they deserve more respect. They get more respect than that, I should say.
Yeah,
And so, yeah,
cool.
I see less money coming in on the Jets.
Less money. You know what? I did some research earlier today, and I checked out because I'm in this one pick'em league where the lines come out on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. And that's what they're essentially, those are the lines, and they don't move. They stay there so that your picks. So like when Trevor Lawrence goes out during the week, he doesn't play, that line doesn't move. So that line's still 4.5 or whatever it is. But what I did was I did research. I went back through all the weeks, all the weeks this year, and I tallied how often the favorite won and the underdog based on those original lines. So week one, the favorite
Covered or one?
covered the spread. Sorry. So
Big distinction.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. So just I mean win the pick by the favorite or for the covered. So absolutely, yeah, covered. So week one, the favorite covered 10 times, underdog 6. Week two, favorite only had covered 5. So they're 5-11. Week three, favorite 7-9. Week four, 8-8. Week five, 9-5. Then in week six, 13 for the favorite and 1 for the underdog. So that week 6, we went 13-1. The favorite covered 13 of the 14 games.
Not just one, but covered.
Covered, yes, covered.
Well, if it's the favorite, I mean, it means they win too. So, wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Week 7,
Wow.
back to reality, 8-7.
Okay, so using that information, what are you saying?
Well, week 7, 8-7. Week 8, 7-9. Week 9, 10-5. So using this information, I'm saying, hey, right now the favorite is 77-61, 77-62 if you include the Thursday night game. From 2013 to 2024, I believe it is, the favorite covers 47% of the time. In this mathematics, it's 53%. because they cover 77 of 138 games so far. So I'm just saying, hey, if it's 47% right now, it shows you how that 6% changes when the lines do move. So if the line, from that Tuesday to the actual kick time, that could be an indication of, hey, that 6% difference. So the line moving does impact, but also more importantly, I think we're due for, because of these numbers, we're due for a week where the underdogs get things going. That's the point of what
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So you expect the underdogs to come in. Okay. What's the next game?
All right. Next game. Detroit and Houston. Detroit minus 3.5.
Well, this game, though, I think they kind of baked in having Nico Collins play, even though nobody said that he is.
Right.
He's been on the IR, so if it's 3.5, it was 4, I believe, before. Maybe it's come down a little bit. That would tell me he's probably going to play, but it's still Detroit on the road, 3.5 at Houston with Nico, and so yeah, I'd like Detroit.
Yeah, still Detroit. Detroit all the way. Miami at the Rams. Rams minus 1 at home. To pick them. I mean, I like the Rams offense. I like liking their defense. Liking the Rams. I'm trying to jump on the bandwagon. But, Miami does have Tua back. They looked a lot better offensively last week. But I don't know. I mean, this is a football team that still only has, 2 or 3 wins, the Miami Dolphins. So,
well, so who are you taking? The Rams?
I'm taking the Rams. Yeah, I have to.
Okay. Well, I've got Miami, and yeah, because it's too much. It's too close to a pick. It doesn't need to be, at least not yet. So that tells me that I should probably expect something from Miami. So I'll go with them.
Yeah, tough
That's
pick.
it.
That's it. That was the Monday night game. So,
what's your best pick of the week?
pick of the week. That's a great question. Honestly, this week I'm not really like 100% high on anything except for the Chargers. I think the Chargers bloodbath Tennessee, like 30 or 40 points.
Bloodbath Tennessee. I like it. Okay.
How about you?
All right, fair enough. No, I don't have anyone that I like much more at all than any other. So, I mean, you can kind of tell the games that seemed clear. I like the Jets for one thing. They have to start winning because they're too much of a product to not at least back into the playoffs.
Yeah, at least
And
not.
so that involves winning games. So games like that, San Francisco, may or may not cover. I don't care. I really don't care about that game. So
Yeah.
where it's a good team, it's a team that's loaded now. In theory, with McCaffrey back, whatever they could kill him, but I don't think they will. I don't know. I don't care about that game.
Yeah.
The Chargers are fun, but that's my team. I love the Chargers. I always will. And so, but I have never been good betting with them. So I'm just gonna leave it as hey, they're a much better team, and they should go out there and just methodically destroy the opponent like they've pretty much done most every week. They can't really handle the good teams yet, but I mean, look who they're playing. So yeah, I do like the Chargers. We'll see how it goes. I mean, but I don't expect too many upsets out there this week. It sounds like you were calling for them. Yeah, I just think it's going to be kind of more of the same. The Miami, I like Miami, but that's a Monday night thing. So if there's anything left in the wallet, you can put it on them. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and just for clarification purposes, I think that underdogs to cover more so than underdogs to win outright. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to see many upsets this week.
Heard.
I think if anything, it could be just favorites that aren't covering but still winning the games. But according to those stats that I looked up, I think it's only 16% of the time that the favorite.
I really hate those kind of. I hate stats. I hate stats. Stats make for bad bets because they prey on people who know stats, because that's where they think they get their edge from. And that's part of the Joe component. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was that way when I was a kid with handicapping horses. I was into that. I noticed like, well, why do the ones that look the best and always seem to come fourth and fifth?
Hmm.
You know, it's like it's kind of weird. But anyway,
That horse
that's
with the biggest cock is a loser.
yeah. So anyway, I gotta head back downstairs.
All
So
right, buddy, we'll have fun in Vegas.
I'm outie. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Everybody enjoy the picks, enjoy the games, right?
Like and subscribe, that kind of stuff. All
Okay,
right, thanks,
cool.
John. Appreciate it.